Welcome to the NCAA South Central Region Championship postgame press conference. West Texas A&M defeats Colorado MSU Denver tonight 3-2 in a thrilling five-set victory. Joining us are members of the WT Lady Buffs, head coach Kendra Potts, also Torrey Miller and Emma Becker. Kendra, we'll start with you. Just want to throw out just a few stats that I wrote down during the broadcast. Second set, which was a WT win, you were down by 6. Came back and won that. You were down 14-8. Fourth set, you trailed to start the set 5-0. You trailed 20-15. You came back and won that one 25-22. Felt like WT was on the ropes a lot tonight. Your team comes out on top. How did it happen?
Well, that's a lot when you say that. You can say that all at once. We do definitely try to be in the moment we're in as best as we can. I thought Metro played some of the best ball. I got to give them a lot of credit just with them putting us in that position. I don't even want to say we weren't playing well. I thought they were just playing great. And so for us, this is why Becker's to my left right now. That second set is the reason. She's the reason why we were able to even come one and one after the first two sets. And it's little things like that. It just takes one player to create that spark, and it can flare up really quick, and that happened. And then we had a little bit of a lull in that third set, and some of us just had to reset and understand, thank goodness we get to play 3 out of 5, to complete a match. And then in between sets 3 and 4, we just kind of looked at each other and we said, we're about to create the coolest story we've ever been able to create as a team. And we're going to talk about the story for the rest of our lives. When we win this set 4 and when we come back and win in 5, and and that's literally what we said, like, guys, this is going to be freaking awesome. And yeah, then after that awesome speech, we got down 0-5. But I still, if they just really realize that they're never out of a game, then this is what can happen. And so I'm very proud of some of us had to get out of a hole and get ourselves out of it and then get back in it and then get back out of it. I'm just really proud of how the girls played the long game tonight. And so my words aren't very pretty right now, but they made me speechless. I'm just very proud of them right now.
Talk a little bit about your defense. It's 15 blocks tonight, and the blocks were huge in some critical moments. And then the digs as well, because, again, you talked about MSU Denver being a really talented offensive team, and you had to just keep balls alive.
Yeah, they're one of the best offensive teams in the country. I'm going to add they're one of the best, if not the best, blocking teams in the country as well. Let me add to that, they're one of the best serving teams in the country. So we knew what we were up against. Our first line of defense with our block is always present, those positive touches that we're just trying to create, not even terminating blocks at times. We were able to find that. But we also knew we were going to have to play defense around our block tonight and not just depend on that first line of defense. And I like Emma Patterson, Briley Contreras, Torrey, our setters, they all stepped up when we needed it to happen. And so I'm just so proud of the grit and the effort. And that's not on a stat sheet. If we could at least have some grit and effort stats, that's where we would be thriving. I'm super proud of the girls there.
Emma, I want you to talk about your performance. Coach said it. You were that spark that WT needed tonight. You came in. What were you thinking? I mean, you're down in the first set, but you come back really, really strong in set number 2, and you were phenomenal.
I just always think, we always say, I do it for y'all, and I was just thinking I need to be the best for the team. And we always talk about swinging and being in the green light, because we always know that even if we get blocked, I trust everybody around me, and they will be there to help me or even cover for me. And it's just knowing that I have a team behind me, it's very easy to be that spark.
And then, Torrey, just this performance tonight, I mean, just all 3 matches, you were outstanding. But for this one particularly tonight, what were you seeing in your team and just that fight?
I'm just so grateful to have a team that always trusts me, even if I'm having some rough patches during the match. I mean, I definitely had some times when I needed to reset, and I had some players that could come in off the bench and just literally save me. And I'm just so grateful that we have a team that cares so much about each other, and to be able every player on the bench came up to me and saying, I trust you, and they mean it. And just being able to lean back on everyone, that's what's going to take us all the way.
Kendra, you've been talking about teams, targeting you, and this team targeted you, but now you get to defend that crown. How cool is that, man? For just to go back and say, hey, it's ours, take it from us.
I'm just very grateful that we allowed ourselves the opportunity to do so. But just like we did last year, the first round, all I remember us talking about was Wingate, and then we moved on to the next day. And so the approach is absolutely going to be the same. It's nice that we have experience and, trying to figure out a new gym and having one practice to do so. And so the experience I really want to make sure we're cognizant of and take advantage of. But again, we're going to have to embrace even more being that target, and then continue being a moving target. So, there's some leaks that we exposed today, and our next opponent's going to see those things. So we're going to have to create and make sure we can polish those things up. But I'm grateful that I have another day to be able to do that. I'm so grateful that I have another day to just be around these cool chicks. And so, yeah, that's how I feel about it.
You're on fire. Roll.
Coach, you talk about two talented teams getting together, but you guys really had the talent and the depth, I think, in this game. So for all of you guys to answer this question, how special is that depth and how much did it play a role in this game?
I'll let you guys elaborate.
I mean, yeah, just specifically like Piper Warren coming off the bench and just passing balls for me when I couldn't. I mean, let me explain more. She misses 2 practices a week because she's a nursing student, and for her to come in and be ice cold, like literally ice in her veins, just shows like how much we are bought in and how much we show up for each other every single day. And when she came to the line, she had no fear in her eyes, and I without a doubt I was like, thank God she's gonna do it because I can't. I'm just so grateful to have people like that who if it's not my best night, I know there's someone else who can get the job done.
I'm going to piggyback off that a little bit. During practices and games, we can just see how hard everybody works and how many times other people have to come in. And even on the bench, when I go out, people will come up to me and be like, just making sure you have this, and they're just 24/7, just always helping you, no matter if they're on or off the court. And I just think that's an amazing thing.
Yeah, it's volleyball's played with 6 people on the court, but we call it our 126. Every piece of that 126 is giving pieces of information that empowers that group of 6 that's on the court. And that's exactly they've been doing it all year long, but today it really applied.
Mm-hmm. And then just one more for all of you guys. If I'm the opposing team looking over and I see you guys are down 2-1 and you got smiles on your faces, you're still happy, you're still, moving, and you're having dance parties in between sets and everything, just, how special is this team's just attitude and staying, lighthearted even when you're down?
Well, we kind of talk about this. We talked about it today. The crowd. We were talking about these 10-year-old little girls, 8 to 10-year-old little girls, just looking at them and giving them high fives and just cheering their hearts out. And we were like, don't forget who you were as a 10-year-old little girl and playing with that joy. And even the odds were against us for a little bit. Don't forget why you're suiting up and putting yourself through this to begin with, and I think that's where that spirit comes from. They just play like kids, loose and free. And so I don't know, that's what I see, but y'all can elaborate.
I really think we do say it's a work trip and we have jobs that we need to do, but it's more like the job that your dream job that you love to do and you're just having so much fun no matter what. And honestly, just having all these smiles and the dance parties just really relaxes you and just makes you reset and we got it. It's gonna be okay. Just have fun.
I think just at the end of the day, it's a game, and I get to hang out with all of my best friends while I do it, and so why not just have some fun? I mean, if I'm going to be here every single day at the crack of dawn, I might as well do it with my best friends and smile while I do it. So, yeah.
We love early morning practices.
Yes.
That's what she's saying.
The birds are chirping.
Oh yeah.
Kendra, at one point on the floor, she said Piper Warren, Carly Evans, Tatum Stowe, Briley Contreras, Panhandle kids, right? Yeah. You, Panhandle kid, right? So what does that mean for or for future Lady Buffs that see that who live around here?
Well, just kind of to go back what I was talking about, these little kids, a long time ago, I'll preface that, I was that 10-year-old watching the Lady Buffs in the early 90s win that national championship at the Amarillo Civic Center. And I just remember those seeds were planted so early for me. And these girls that are on this team from the Panhandle are no different. Those seeds were planted early for them. And what I'm just so excited is that we're planting those seeds for these girls, you know, whether it's at WT that they go to or whether they go somewhere else, they're seeing what it looks like. And I'm just so grateful that these girls are such a great example of just being great human beings, both on and off the court. And so this job is so much more than just the day-to-day. I'm so grateful, and I do not take this position for granted.
First question, who's the best dancer?
Zaria Parker.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
she can break dance.
She likes to break
ask her about her
dance.
breakdancing.
Yeah, she wins for sure.
Absolutely.
I do. Yeah.
Okay, Kendra,
That's
hold
what
on.
I actually do.
Well, you guys obviously have energy, but I looked up in the crowd, and I don't even think I saw an empty seat in the top row as well. How great was it to host this regional, and what did it mean, you know, to win it behind this home crowd?
It's definitely emotional to go out my senior year, playing my last game ever at the box, winning the regional final. Like, I just looked up in the crowd, just soaking it all in, and I'm like, is this even real life? Like, how did I get here? I don't know. I blinked, and I went from freshman year to now, and it's just so special to end my, like, last regional here at the box where it all started.
That just hit me. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then I have one more question. I'm kind of going back to those sets. I know in that fourth set I look up is 20-15. You guys go on a 10-2 run. So more runs, more stats here thrown at you guys. Kind of what was just the, you know, those huddles, everything. What were you saying, Torrey? Is that leader kind of out in the court? What was it?
I'm not gonna lie, I was already in my own hole, and so I was just trying to give as much as I could to the girls who were doing the thing. Like whatever Becker was doing, I was just trying to be her hype man. Briley was passing nails, you know, just reminding everyone that this is not our last game. We don't go down without a fight. Like, I didn't know how we were gonna do it, but we were gonna figure it out. Like, there's no specific plan, but we know that we are gonna fight until the very end. So.
I honestly just think in the huddles, we just kept saying, like, we trust each other because, like Torrey said, no matter what, no matter how much we're down for, we always fight. And so, kind of like Torrey said, I knew we were going to win. I didn't know how we were going to pull it off, but I knew that we were going to win that game. So it was just, like, a great feeling to have.
Hey, real quick, obviously, a great win for you, but how much do you think you needed a game like this where you guys had to battle back? Not even the set you won, but every set it seemed like you guys were just fighting for your lives the whole time.
You're right. Like, we were never really at an advantage. We never won the game to 5 until the 5th set, you know? And so these games are so much more impactful and powerful than the 3-set sweeps. We don't take those for granted ever. But, man, do we learn here, and do we see that we have some, you know, adjustments that we can make on the fly, and people learn to trust themselves. Bryn Wright had a tough match. A very tough match. We all knew it. She knew it. But in the 5th set, she was able to come up with a huge block. She made some good recycle plays that got them a little out of system. And it's those moments that, like, okay, I've had a bad game, but man, I can have a couple good moments that keep us in it and honestly allow us to win. And so these games, I want the girls to hold on to the good. We're going to learn from what we weren't doing well. We're going to rep that out. We're going to polish it up. But I want them to remember just how powerful they are when they think that they're capable. And so, yeah, that's how I feel.
Torrey, Coach Potts, Emma, congratulations. How about 3 straight years, South Central Region champions, West Texas A&M. Congratulations.
Thank you all.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.